言うことは一つだけ。絶対負けねえ。
Hey guys, how's it going? There's Nothing Excess with another player analysis. I got here a player analysis for the new skill type player pickup transfer. It is of the 3 pickup transfers that they've done for the 3 different colors. This would be the only one that's running for a long time and the only one with an actual new character in it. The blue one did have a hidden ability evolution for a Napoleon, but that was it, and the red one is just a quick fly-by-night banner. The green one does have a new player in Sakhon Konsawatt, Thailand's giant fighter. So we're going to talk about these 3 units that are the only units I have not yet covered before. The other 3 units, I made a post that you can check out, and there will be links in that post to the previous review, so you can check them out. So without further delay, let's go right into it. The first player is Sakhon Konsawatt, or Sakhon Konsawatt, Thailand's giant fighter. I kind of wonder what Collab's design goal is lately, because they continue to release these very strange units with very strangely defined strengths. So Sakhon is normally completely unimpressive. His non-shooting skills barely manage to brush up against 7.7 to 7.9k barrier. His dribble, pass, and intercept are all more or less around there. He has 10k shot. It's somewhat hamstrung by the fact that his shot momentum is capped at 420, but it has the benefit of being a shot with no distance decay and a blow away, so that's kind of nice. Now the thing is that he absolutely mauls Asia qualifier Japanese players. So basically, if you got Dream Collection Morisaki but not the one in the World Cup outfit, you're in trouble if you see this guy, because he has 80% higher stats against you. Everyone else is kind of wondering why he's out on the field. Maybe some other Asia qualifier characters, like, I don't know, Raiji Hyuga, if you're running around for some reason and there's a matchup. But everyone else kind of wondering what's going on. Now, he does have a nice team skill, which is the forward 15, green 10 team skill, which is quite nice, but that is definitely an option that's chilling around there. So pros, his team skill makes green forwards 50% better and green units 10%. Long distance shooter with 10k shot, and he destroys Japan Asia qualifiers players. His cons are he has very little skill support. His passive is very limited in scope. He's furiously mediocre in non-shooting categories. His brothers have no gacha SSR versions yet, so his best shooting skill, which is an overhead, isn't quite useful yet, and he has unimpressive stamina. He's a forward. His role is striker. I would rate him a B. Would I go for broke for him? Not even a little bit. Unless you for some reason really needed his team skill, but no, not even then. Limit break, 22-3 dribble speed, 25-25 shot power, 22-3 pass technique. Nothing else I would do there. For his stats, he's got 905 stamina. Very low, as I mentioned, especially for a gacha release this late into the game. He has 10.4k shot, but everything else is pretty mediocre. His block is the second highest stat, which I guess is okay because he has a block that you could teach him from an SR version, but whatever. Terrible idea. He does have 7.7 dribble, 7.9 pass. If you once you limit break him, they'll be a little bit more respectable, but still not very good. He is good at high balls. That gives him 12.5% bonus at high balls. For a skill build, I would give him more elephants attack. I wouldn't really give it to him. He just comes with it. But give him the beat Konsawatt trio if you are going to use him. I guess gambling on the fact that there will eventually be more SSR versions of the Konsawatt brothers. Then give him fainting dribble. He already comes with that. Diving header, you should give that to him. And S triple overhead kick. For now, though, he does come with an A pass, so you might want to keep that until you can actually consider giving him the 1-2. This is kind of like the dream build where the ties are actually viable. But until then, just level up a Konsawatt trio so that you can get it ready to pull it off and give it to him. Triple overhead kick is actually a skill that makes him kind of scary. It's a 475 skill. There might come a day where you can legitimately run the Thai team all together, and that makes him fun and interesting. Until then, A pass for the B1-2 and just bide your time. Next up is Leo, Child of God's partner. He is a little bit of an older character, and he's come back for this banner, a somewhat limited but perfectly serviceable support striker who can also actually shoot. Leo more or less has a bit of an identity crisis going on. He's a bench striker or a third striker in a formation that has Santana in it. He's definitely got some value, but the biggest problem is that there are other units that do what he does much better, like Miracle Play Nachareza. Even in a 3-forward formation in green, few people will run him with Santana over Nachareza and Hino. That said, if you're willing to go nuts with something like a 4-4 formation, or you want him as a sub, or you put Nachareza at like midfielder, you'll find use for this decent passing and shooting, as well as his solid skill support. He is a forward. His roles are as a striker and an enabler. He is also, he's good at shooting, but he's also good at distributing the ball. I would rate him like at an A, and I would not go for broke for him. For pros, he's got 10k base shot and 9k pass, which is not too bad. And he does get 10% stronger with Santana on the field, which makes his decent shot a little bit better. His other skills kind of rise to 8k competency too because of his passive as long as you're playing with Santana. He's got decent skill support. It comes with 3 unique and OK skills. Give him a 1-2 and pass and you're set. He has pretty good stamina. Now as for cons, without Santana he's basically useless. He comes with no pass installed, so start leveling up that A killer pass from the SR versions, and he's kind of slow and his team skill is a little weak. His limit break will look familiar to you because it's the same limit break as the previous one. Dribble speed 22-3, shot power 25 both, pass technique 22-3. Stamina 978, much better than Sakhon. You'll notice that his stats are a little bit higher in the places where you would want them to be. He has 7,000 shot, which means that he comes out with 10,000 shot basically, 9k pass, and a 7.7k intercept, which will basically be pretty viable if you give him like the swift interception or something. We'll see more about his skill build right now. For his skill build, he comes with S Brazilian Twin Shot, which is actually pretty decent, like 465. And he comes with A high-speed South American dribble and A swift interception, which is all you're going to need on that front. Teach him the A killer pass and S Brazilian golden duo. He's actually got a great complement of skills, making him pretty flexible and strong in South American teams, particularly green ones. Shot's actually not too bad. You won't be able to use it all the time as a primary option despite the limit break. But if you level it up enough, it'll be enough of a threat for most goalkeepers, particularly during full power when you crit, that you'll be blowing away, they'll be blowing stamina to save it. Still, you're better served enabling your other forwards. 4-4 formations actually can use this character because he will track up and down the field, kind of like a wing midfielder. And with the swift interception, which is actually kind of vaguely okay at, you might see some success, but I would never actually recommend running a 4-forward formation, but some people do, and this character is actually okay for some of those people, especially the ones that are like, we're starving for players in green South America. What do we do? Well, run 4 forwards. It's viable. At least for green South America. Finally, we got our Lord and Savior Hanji Urabe, the hot-blooded defense. A perfectly average defensive midfielder in green, a color that isn't really starving for good defensive midfielders. At the time of his release, people were excited to see a version of Urabe that would actually be pretty decent. That wasn't like the 2017 Samurai version, which was kind of cheeks. He is actually still pretty decent. The problem with being decent in a flooded category is that there's just a lot better options to play instead. Still, he's a 9.4k tackler with a 455 momentum tackle. That's priced a little too high. Outside of that, he's saddled with a lot of bad skills with low momentum, which makes it hard to really recommend him as a starter, but it does make him a decent bench player. He is a defensive midfielder and a defensive midfielder only. I would have also liked him as a defender. It would have made him a lot more flexible. His role is defense. I would rate him a B. Would I go for broke for him? No. Unless you worship at the church of Urabe, in which case, yes, you must pull him immediately. Pros, good 9.4k tackler with a decent team skill that buffs green DMs, 15-10. High stamina, and he gets stronger as he becomes more tired. Now for cons, overshadowed by basically every other green defensive midfielder who performs his job better. He has low momentum on all of his A skills that he can learn, and because they're all generic, weaker generic ones. For a limit break, I would go the tackle shenanigan, which is tackle speed 25-25, and then block power 2203, intercept technique 2203. As you can see, stamina 197, quite decent for a gacha player, especially one with the, I guess, quote-unquote, popularity of Urabe. He's 7 point something in all of his offensive categories, but 9.4k tackle, 8.3k block, and 8.5k intercept. Really no slouch in any category, but not particularly overwhelming. For his skill build, we got S tenacious sliding tackle, A forcible interception, and A sliding block are what he comes with. You can also teach him the A strong tackle if you pull it off of the 2017 version, but if not, then no big deal. You can still teach him B strong pass, which is a raid that he now has. A strong tackle is there in case you yanked it off the old samurai one, but otherwise you can basically just run him with 4 skills, as that's basically all you'll be able to give him. He's not particularly strong or impressive, but he'll do fine until you find better. His team skill is also nice if you're trying to shore up your defensive line right outside of your actual defenders. He'll clutch out good tackles late in the game if he's seen a lot of action. So that's pretty much it for this banner. There's really nothing else to talk about. The other 3 players are also quite good. I think the other 3 players might be better, considering who they are. So if you want to go ahead and take a look at this banner, I would recommend you go in and pull on it. I wouldn't actually, unless you really needed like Tsubasa. This is a decent time to try and get Tsubasa. So if you don't have him yet, I already have basically everyone in this banner except Sakhon. I actually pulled on it just to see if I could get Sorimachi, and he came in the first multi, which was nice. And so now I just need to complete his hidden ability scenario, and I'll be set. Anyways, guys, thanks for checking it out. Let me know in the comments what you think of these characters. Let me know in the comments if you want to see anything in particular what you thought of the video. If you haven't clicked like and subscribe, now is a great time to do it. If you click the little bell next to the subscribe icon, you'll be informed whenever I upload a new video. There's some PvP videos coming up soon, but the All for the Glory tournament has hit a bunch of snags, so I'm really busy. I barely had time to make this video. I wanted to crank it out for you guys because I know you've been waiting for it. My prediction for the Dreamfest is going to be blue espadas. I've said it here and now. I don't think I'm going to be right, but I kind of hope I'm right. And that's pretty much it. So just let me know what you guys thought and hit me up later, and I hope to see you guys soon.